Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to another episode on J of All Trades. Today, I want to change this electric stove, which is wired up here, but when I pulled out the stove, I noticed that this is actually hardwired directly to the stove. There's no plug or no outlet for this stove, and so we're going to install one for the new one that I'll be putting in, and this is a 240 volt line. All electric stoves in the US typically operate at 240 volts and they require a dedicated circuit that is on a 40 to 50 amp breaker. So if you're in a situation like this today, I'm going to be showing you how to install a plug for this brand new stove that I have in this box here. And I'm also going to be showing you guys how to wire up the stove with a 4-prong power cord. If you look at the back of your stove, you'll most likely notice a chart in the back here. And this here shows you a 4-wire hookup, which is what I'll be showing you today, and also a 3-wire hookup. First things first, make sure you turn off the breaker to the circuit and then open up the panel. Before you touch anything, make sure that you use a meter to ensure that there's no power on these lines, because safety is a must. Now, when we look at these wires, we're going to notice a 4-wire hookup in here. Let's identify each wire. This black wire here is a line wire. This white wire here is your neutral. This red wire over here is another line wire. And then finally, you have your ground hooked up here. Keep in mind that a 240 volt circuit has 2 line wires that have 120 volts each. Now here I've opened up the new stove, and in the back of that stove has the same drawing as you can see, a 4-wire and a 3-wire diagram. Here is a hole where all the electric will run in to get wired up. We're going to open this up and take a look. We're going to identify each wire one by one. Here is a set of red wires for your line. Here is where you put your neutral. Here is the black for another line. And here is where you'll hook up your ground. Here are the parts that I'll be using to do the install for the plug. Here is a 240 volt outlet. And if we turn this to the back, we'll see 2 gold screws here, which are your lines. This is for your neutral and then your ground at the top. And if we turn this around, we'll see that the ground is in the top. Then we have the 2 lines here, and then your neutral would be this one. I'll include links in the description for all of these parts. Here's a 4-wire plug that I'll be hooking up to the new stove. We have red, white, green, and black. And then here in the front, you can see how it looks here. And that gets plugged into that plug. You're going to need a 2-gang box to fit this plug into this box, because a single gang box will not be big enough. And of course, a white cover to go over the outlet and the box. After ensuring that there is no power coming to these lines, I started disconnecting everything one by one. And also keep in mind that these wires are much thicker and stiffer due to their rating. The reason why these wires are thicker is because they allow less resistance, which allows you to safely carry more current without overheating the wires, because this stove definitely pulls a lot of power. And you need thick enough wires to prevent overheating them. Just pay attention to the power requirements of your electric range, because in most cases a 50 amp 240 volt circuit would require a 6 gauge wire, but on the other hand, smaller ranges may require a 40 amp circuit with a 8 gauge wire. So you want to look at the manual and just confirm what kind of gauge wire you have and how much your electric range is pulling. Here I'm just removing this collar here with the nut, and this is going to allow me to drop the entire piece out and then remove the wires. Here I'm going to trace out a section of the box so that I'll know exactly where to cut, and of course I'm using a level to make sure that that's straight. And I'm just going to make a mark all the way around the box to make my cutout. And you're going to notice that this box has 2 ears, which actually tighten in on the sheetrock, so I can basically put this box anywhere on the wall that I want. Again, I'll include a link in the description for that box. Here I'm just connecting these lines so I can see a little bit clearer as to where I need to cut. Now I'm just using a sheetrock saw to make the cutout for this box. Before I start installing this box with the wiring, I'm going to be pushing this little piece back so I can actually pass the wires through here, and this little piece will clamp down on the wires and keep it in place. So I'm just exercising it to make it a little bit easier to move around. Now I'm going to cut this wire down to size because it's a little bit too long. Now that this is a manageable length, I'm going to feed it through and pass it through the cutout for the box. Having an outlet here will make it so much easier to remove a stove in the future, and the delivery guys can just unplug the old stove and plug in a new one. Otherwise, if the stove is hardwired like this one was here, you'd have to get an electrician because the delivery guys won't touch it. We'll feed this section of wire here through this knockout and we'll prep it for wiring. First things first though, we want to make sure that this box fits nice and snug in here and there's no obstructions. This is a perfect fit. We're not going to tighten up this box in place yet. We'll open up these wires and we'll prep it, and then we'll wire up the outlet, and then we'll tighten up that box afterwards. Prepping these wires can be a little bit of a pain because first of all, they're so stiff and the insulation is so thick on them. So once I get it started here, I can just basically slowly peel it back until I reveal enough wiring. And then I'll just cut out the excess insulation. Here you can see I have about 4 to 5 inches of wiring exposed, and I have my 4 wires here. Now I'm going to use a wire stripper to expose some wire here so that I can wire this up to the outlet. Here is the outlet again, and we're just going to take a look in the back again and go through this. That's our ground. That's our neutral, and then these two on the side are your lines. And here is where we'll be pushing those wires into and tightening them down. And here is the one for the ground on the side. First, I'm going to start with the ground here, and I'll start by loosening up the screw, taking that wire and sticking it through the side and tightening it down. You want to make sure that these wires are nice and tight. Put a little muscle into it and just make sure that they're not going to move out of place. Keep in mind that those 2 gold screws are your 2 lines. So one red wire is going to go there on one of them and the black wire is going to go on the other. I like to give them a nice tug just to make sure that they're tight enough. And if they're not tight enough, they'll come right out. So here, finally, I'll put the neutral in to that silver screw there. And of course, I'll give it a nice tug just to make sure that everything is all tight. This is why I don't tighten the box into the wall yet, because I have to fight with this and just push this plug right into the box and secure it to the box. And it takes a little bit of force because these wires are very stiff and they're very thick. And as you can imagine, having the box secured to the wall and putting so much force on it can potentially break the sheetrock. This is why I strongly advise securing this first into the box, and then you'll be able to push the box in and then tighten those clips on the box. Now, if you have this secured to a stud, you can definitely put that kind of force on the box if you'd like, but in my situation, I'm securing it to sheetrock. Word of advice here, try to tighten these screws little by little all the way around. This way they'll tighten together and it will be flush rather than being cocked on one side. And here I've gotten the entire outlet nice and flush in the box. Now I can put the whole thing into the wall and I'll be able to tighten up these clips and everything will draw in nice and tight and be held in nicely. Another word of advice here is if you're using a gun to tighten up these screws, just set it to the lowest torque setting. This way you're not going to power through these screws and over tighten something. I must say that the screw gun does this much faster than if I were to actually use a screwdriver. But again, you have to be mindful of the amount of force that you're using on these guns. Once you have this tightened up, make sure you give it a nice shake just to make sure that that's solid. Now we could finish this off with a cover for the box and the outlet. You'll definitely want to use a screwdriver for this part because a gun will definitely mess this part up. This particular cover that I'm using is made out of plastic, and even at the lowest torque setting, a gun will definitely crack it. Not to mention, with these tiny screws, a gun doesn't have that much control and it'll probably end up scratching the plate. To be honest, I don't think anybody will be looking back here, but I still like to take pride in my work. Now I'm going to remove this metal collar here and I'll be installing it on a new wiring for the plug for the new stove. Here I'm just going to pass this sleeve over here on the new wiring. Then I'll pass it through this hole here. And now I'm all set to wire up the new stove. Here you can see that there's this copper piece that joins your neutral and your ground together. So we're going to be removing that copper piece in order to do our 4-wire setup. You're probably wondering why that copper piece is there. A 3-wire 240-volt circuit has 2 hot wires and 1 neutral wire, and the neutral wire is used as the ground. But a 4-wire circuit adds a dedicated ground wire to the 2 hot wires and the neutral wire, which provides a separate path for neutral and a separate path for your ground. This separation makes the 4-wire system safer, and it's a standard required by current electrical codes, especially for new installations. So this is why I chose to do a 4-wire setup. So we'll simply remove this copper piece here, and that will separate our neutral and our ground. Now I'll take this nut here and pass it over my wires, and that'll be used to secure that collar. But first, we're gonna wire everything up so we can have the flexibility to work here, and then we'll secure that entire piece to that holder. So here I'm just hooking up my white wire here, which is the neutral, and I'll screw this in place. Next, I'll be hooking up this red wire, which is one of the lines. Next, I'll be taking our ground and hooking up directly to this frame here, and I'll be using that same green screw that was holding in that copper piece. Finally, I'll install this black wire, which is the other line. Make sure that you check all your connections to make sure that they're tight. And once that's all set to go, I'll be using this nut here to secure this collar straight into the holder. And this will ensure that this piece does not move. If for any reason someone decides to tug on this wire, this will prevent any force being put on our connections. You'll want to tighten the top and bottom of this in increments to prevent it from being cocked on one side. This will also evenly distribute the force on this wire. Now I'm going to tap on the screwdriver on the nut to tighten this as much as I can, just to make sure that there's a nice firm connection. And then we're going to install the cover right back on here. Now that we have the cover back on, we're ready to plug this stove in and start using it. And now when you want to change your stove, you can simply just unplug it and move your stove out of the way and put another one in there. I hope this video has been valuable to you, and I hope that you've learned something new. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel so you can continue to get more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys on the next one.